Morning or afternoon to everyone. You all know who I am. I don't have to say it's Donnie Walker. Anyways, here we are with Buckin Saw. I'm ready to go through the carburetor. Everything else on it is checked out okay. We're just leaving it all the way it was 25 years ago or so. And you can go see him Buckin run it at the Buckin Fest coming up. Don't know the exact date of that or times or anything, but Johnny, my brother Johnny from Walker Saw Shop, is going to ship this out on Friday, and some stuff to hand out at the Buckin stock, some Walker's swag, you know. So anyways, let's get into this carburetor. These are WJ carburetor Walbro. This one's a WJ, what is that? 71? 71, okay. So I've told you before some of the problems we had with 394 carburetors when they were hard to restart when they're hot, and just hard to start overall, more when it's hot than when it was cool though. So I'll show you the function of this carburetor. I haven't opened it up yet, but we're going to go through it all, okay? So first of all, I'm going to put my pressure tester on it, see if it holds pressure. If it does, we know the needle's not leaking, but then again, it might if the cover and diaphragm's off. Holds good pressure. Everyone should buy one of these little carb gauges. You can buy them off Amazon, super cheap, or get a good one from Echo or Husky. They all pretty much do the same thing. It's just a pressure pump, right? 10 pounds pressure I put in it. So first, I'm just going to overall look at the carburetor, eh? Some of these 394s and 395 carburetors, this screw would come loose on the choke lever part here, and you could strip the little square piece there, okay? So it's a good thing to check all the screws to make sure everything's tight, right? I do notice this lever where you put the choke on it, puts it on the fast idle. It's a little wore, but it's still functional, okay? So when you let the choke off, normally it would stay there and then snap back when you hit the throttle. But this one's being a little awkward, but you get the gist of it, right? That's how it works. That maybe we'll change that when he comes back from there, but we're going to leave it all the way it was, okay? We're trying to find out why it wasn't running quite right compared to the way it was a while back. I did find a bit of a problem with the tank vent. I fixed that now, but let's go through the carburetor now and see what we got. You know, everyone has their favorite tools for working on carburetors, eh? You know, I got my basic Phillips to fit these screws, and then my really nice flat blade skinny one that I can use for the smaller screws, right? You know, these are getting a lot worn now, but they're snap-on, so I can probably get new handles and stuff under warranty, and if the tips are bad, I get them for warranty. That's why I buy snap-on, because it's guaranteed for life, and I love using them. Okay, so let me zoom you in on here, and then we're going to go through this carburetor. I've done other videos of this carburetor. If you flash back on some of my videos from a couple years ago or whatever. So, but we're gonna do it again anyways. So let's get into it here. I'm gonna zoom in. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's a beautiful day here today. Sun's shining. Birds are singing. Fozzie's out back playing. Shelly's in Nanaimo helping with the daycare that we're selling, and then we'll give up the house in Nanaimo, and then we'll be up here full time in Parksville and Qualicum area. I love it up here, and so much good nature. Yesterday I did a video down watching the sea lions in the morning at 6 o'clock on my bike ride. 5-10 minutes from this place, anywhere there's a park. It's really nice. So if you ever want to come and visit Vancouver Island, I can be your tour guide. Okay, so let's get the metering side off first, and then we're going to recheck it for pressure. Oh, I just said a second ago, I'm going to check all the screws. So I'm going to check the screw on the choke lever, make sure it's tight. Yeah, it's good on the choke flap itself. I've seen some of those come loose and go through an engine. It's tight, good. Our other side, our throttle valve, butterfly. Let's check that screw. All good. Okay, now let's take the metering side off and just see what's all in this thing. If there's something built up in the screen, or it's got a hard diaphragm. These weren't all that tight, but tight enough it should have ran, right? Okay. Just put all your little 4 screws in one spot so you know where they go next time, or when you go put it back together, right? That way you don't lose any. Is that zoomed in enough? There we go. Maybe that's better for you. Then you don't have to see me, right? Just listen to me. Okay. Tap that plate. Comes off. There's our diaphragm. On this side of the carburetor, you have a gasket first, then diaphragm. So first off, as I pull this apart, it actually has the wrong diaphragm in it. Husqvarna ones, I'm going to show you in this kit. I have a kit right beside me here, the K15WJ. There's different numbers of the kits, letters of them, but this is kind of the basic one that I use. If you notice on the metering lever, metering diaphragm, I should say, the little button in the middle, this one's just flat. More used on Stills and some Husqvarnas. This one with the little tit that sits off there, it hooks underneath the fulcrum arm, or the metering arm if you want to call it that, metering lever, and that's the one that they originally came with. Also, I notice on this right away, the metering lever is quite high, okay? That would make it run rich and not run too good. This is the newer WJ carburetor I've told you before. The older ones that had a lot of problems with the needle and seat had the bigger needle in it. This has got the small one, and they changed to that so it was lighter, so it wouldn't, the weight of it wouldn't push that seat down. I'm pretty sure that's why they did it. I know it worked a lot better. So he's lucky he's got this newer one here. Someone has replaced this Welsh plug I see already. It looks like it's crimped down good. But we're going to take our jets out and blow through these holes anyways, okay? So let me get my metering lever gauge. And that way it's here when we go to put it back together, okay? Walbro, Zama, they all got different gauges. This one here, you want to, get your Walbro gauge and look for your carburetor model on here, okay? So this is WY, WYJ, WJ right there. So we want to set this metering lever with the WJ setting. So you put it on here, and it should just touch that gauge. So you see how high it is? As I'm putting that on there, I'm pushing that lever down, right? So that's way off, okay? So when we go put it back together, we're gonna see that, okay? Okay, so now we looked there. It's pretty clean on this side, very clean. Let's take our other side off now and look at our diaphragm and screen. I was gonna pressurize it, but there's no use until I look at this side, and we're gonna put it back together with obviously some new diaphragm, especially on that side. And the other side as well. We got it right in front of us. You might as well do it. They're not expensive. Try not to use aftermarket ones unless you have to. You can't find an OEM one, but OEM one, like the proper Walbro kits and Zama kits, it's the only way to go, really. You know it's going to be perfect. Okay. There's our fuel pump side. The screen is absolutely clear. This diaphragm looks really good. There's a little bit of stuff in the air vent hole, but that's nothing. People always think, oh, it's plugged up. No, that's an air vent hole. So we're going to put a new diaphragm in it anyways, and just lightly blow this screen out. There's nothing jammed, Sometimes you see these screens right packed full of stuff, eh? This one isn't. I think the carburetor got gone through a while back, not 25 years ago. Someone's been into this a little bit. Okay, so clean both sides. This side, if you don't want to change this gasket, don't, unless it's leaking, because sometimes you rip this off and you got to clean it like crazy, get all little pieces off to put the new one on. So let's just put a diaphragm on this side, fuel pump diaphragm. And the way these carburetors work on this model, you have an internal pulse system. So on your saw itself, on the heat block between the carburetor and the engine, you got to have a hole line up with this hole with your gasket. So you got to use the right gaskets. Just beware when you're putting them together, you got everything lined up, okay? So yeah, let's put so the way it works is the pulse comes through this hole, pumps this diaphragm, pumps the fuel to the screen, then comes through the metering system and meters into your low and high speed jet, okay? So let's get a diaphragm on this side. And the cover back on. And then we're going to just set the metering lever height like I just showed you. And we'll pressure test it again. And maybe that was the problem with this saw. It was just running so rich you couldn't tune it properly. So we'll see how that goes. Pause. Stop, please. Darn dog, he doesn't know I'm videotaping? Anyways, can't give him crap. Okay, tighten those up. I'm glad this has got the newer series carburetor on it. Okay, now let's set our metering lever. I just hold down kind of the needle on the end of the metering lever, then I push this end down. It doesn't look wore or nothing. It looks actually brand new. So I think someone has definitely put a kit into this since 25 years ago. It is a 1999 saw, that's right, 26 years ago. Okay, get our gauge, put her on there. You want it just to touch the gauge, okay? So there you go, WJ. Sit on there. It's just touching it, okay? So that's the lever you want. It's like setting the float on your car up and down, right? Too much up, too much fuel, too much down, too less of fuel. Okay, so now we're going to pressurize it. See where we're at here. Hook our pressure tester up. No bubbling anywhere. Okay, holding pressure. Watch you don't do this in your face because you'll get some gas at you. Okay, it's holding fine. Nothing wrong with it. Okay. I'm going to put a new diaphragm on here though on a gasket, and I'm just going to preset the carb right now to 1 1/4 on the low and 3/4 on the high. Then we'll adjust it when we're out running it here in a little while. Yeah, I was way out. Almost 2 turns. Half, 1, 1 1/2, back to 1 1/4. This side we're going to go half, 1. It was at 3/4, so that one was about right. That's about what we set them at, I think. So we're going to just try this. We'll see how close I am on it, okay? So now let's get the diaphragm gasket back on. Remember, fuel pump side, diaphragm first, then the gasket and cover. Metering side, gasket first, metering diaphragm, then the cover. Take that, get that little tit on the diaphragm here, or a little bump, and hook it under your metering lever. Get it under there, so it's right in that spot. Then simply lay it on there. The right way, eh, Donnie? Okay. Just kind of look down on it and make sure it's still there. Yep, perfect. Okay. Now, get our cover on. Screws back on. Haven't talked to Buckin for a few days, but I'll give him a shout this afternoon, tell him I'm dropping this off, and then he can arrange his other stuff to go in the boxes to go down that way to see all you guys. Wish I was going, but maybe next year. Keep saying that. Alrighty. 4 screw in. Walbro makes great carburetors. I think they got they're pretty much the best carburetors. The HD series, the WJ, the WB. Great stuff, man. Zama does pretty good too with carburetors, except for they got way too many versions. And you know, I try to get a diaphragm kit for a Zama, man. And it's like there's so many. I wish these companies would actually make a kit that you can buy that just fits all the models of their carburetors. Like really, how much more does it cost, right? It's just some rubber pieces and stuff, right? So that way you got one kit to fit all carburetors. You don't have to look it up and figure it all out, right? Okay, so let's get the carburetor back on the saw. I'll kind of zoom out a bit. That's ready to go. There's our gasket for the carburetor. And here's the saw. We're going to put it on here. Zoom you back out. See that okay? Yeah, this is pretty easy. Just nuts and bolts, right guys and gals, kids? Okay, so let's get our carb carb elbow or filter adapter. Inspect it, make sure everything's okay. It's clean enough. It's clean. Put that screws into there. Our screws through the carburetor. Find the gasket, make sure it's got the right gasket with the holes. This is the one that came off it, and it's the one that's going to go back on it. We're going to put that on there. I'm just going to grab some pliers to put the fuel line on. Then snap the throttle on as well. Where have they gone? Where's the pliers? There we go. Alrighty, okay. Take our carburetor, set her down in there. Get the screws kind of lined up. There you go, kerplunk. Get your 4mm Allen wrench. Look at that, old Bobby Walker's Allen wrench. This thing maybe put this saw together 26 years ago with the same Allen wrench. These things just last a long time. They're a great setup. These are from Husqvarna, but they're made by Weehaw. Weehaw makes excellent Allen wrenches. Not like those cheap ones you buy at Canadian Tire or Home Depot. They just strip off so easy. The metal in these are really good. Anyways, okay, so those main carb screws are in enough. Now we're gonna just hook up the throttle cable here. It's very simple. You just turn the throttle open a bit, hook the line in there, kerplunk, way to go. It's getting full throttle. And this side over here, we're gonna just reach in and put the fuel line on. If you can't see it quite perfect, it's not all that difficult, eh? You know me, I'm not a Hollywood camera guy. Okay, come on. Okay. Come on, baby. Okay, get it on a good ways. Okay, there we go. I got a new fuel filter and I've inspected the line and it's in good shape. We'll just put our little vent system over this side here and tie up our little tie wrap so it doesn't fall out and get stuck in somewhere. This tank vent's off a John thread I used to put on these, and me and my dad put them on because they had some vent problems. Just put that in there like that. Cut off the end. Done. Okay. Now, choke. Feed your choke through the hole here. Hook it to the carburetor. Good to go. Okay. Get our other two screws, the long ones that fit in the back of the air filter adapter here. Put them in. I'm gonna cheat and use this. It's a little faster. I got lots of time today though. I gotta take the little doggy into the vet and head down to Nanaimo and actually pick up some methanol for a friend of mine's racing saw. I just got hold of a guy today. He was nice enough that he's gonna get me a gallon and we can mix up some alcohol for a 3120 methanol burning racing saw. So this weekend there's a Logger Sports in Port McNeill, which is kind of north part of the island, and it's a good show. So there we go. We got just check these back carburetor bolts again, make sure I had those. I just ran them in. Let's make sure they're tight. Second guessing myself. Okay, so there we go. The carburetor's on. The carburetor's been gone through, and that should run better than it was. Push our idle knob back on here so we can adjust the idle. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the top cover on. I'm going to throw a bar and chain on it, and we're going to go out and run it and make sure it's okay. Then I'll drain all the fuel and oil out of it, and we'll get it down to Johnny at Walker's Saw Shop tomorrow, or tonight actually, but he's going to put it all together Friday and ship. So there we go. There's your Buckin's 394 from 26 years ago, resurrected, and you'll see it at Buckin stock. Hope you have all a good day. Get your old saws going, because I tell you, these things will last a guy almost a lifetime if you look after it properly. Not like some of these new ones with these problems. I know guys that, you know, have had some of these for like this long and they're still running. Some of these new ones, just, you're lucky to get a couple seasons out of them. But it is what it is. It's a throwaway world these days. Okay, there we go. 394 XP air injection. Yeah. Keep your saw on the wood, stick your ash, rubber in the road. Have a great day. We'll see you all soon on the next video I'm going to do. And I don't know what it'll be about, but I'll figure out something. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. I got a bunch of grinding bits and stuff from CS Specialty down in Tennessee. Wonderful gals there I deal with and ordered. But oh my God, shipping stuff these days is incredible. The parts that I got, 4 bits and some sanding discs and stuff, were like $305 US. Well, it ends up being like 500 Canadian. You know, then I paid a little bit for shipping. Well, then when UPS dropped it off here, I had to pay this brokerage fee and stuff for another $205, I think it was. So I've spent $700 to get some grinding bits. Oh well, just got to do a few more saws to pay it off, eh? But you got to have good tools, and that's the place to order from. CS Specialties in Tennessee. They got all your porting tools and all the bits, everything you need, and just great people to deal with. So thanks very much to them again, and thanks everyone for watching. And go have some fun with Buckin at Buckin Stock and shake his hand and say hello to him. Okay, catch you all later. Have a good day. Bye now.